Hey guys, just quickly before this video starts, I will be live tomorrow on twitch.tv/LongBarrel at 12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That's 3 p.m. Eastern Time and 8 p.m. Central European Time. The link to my Twitch will be down in the description. Go follow me and I'll see you guys tomorrow. How's it going, guys? My name is LongBarrel and welcome to a brand new series of mine, which I don't even have a title for yet. But essentially, I'm going to be teaching you guys various tips and tricks for holding different parts of the maps, executing stuff. Just in general, these are going to be mini tutorials, which are hopefully going to help you improve your game all around different positions in different maps. Starting off today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to hold solo A on the map Cache. As many of you guys know, I love the map Cache. I play it probably more than any other map on my channel, and at the same time, I love to hold the A bomb site position. Most of the time, I like to solo it. That's why I want to share with you guys some of the tips and tricks that I've accumulated over the years of playing this position, and I want to share with you guys. Now, this is also a really good way for me to learn at the same time as you guys are learning, because before I do these videos, I have to prepare and find some stuff, which is also challenging me to develop my skill a lot more as well. Alright, like I said, this is going to be a mini tutorial, so I don't want to ramble for too much. Let's get on with how to hold A by yourself and the things you got to keep in mind and know while holding this position. So for this tutorial, there's going to be a couple of smokes that will require a jump throw bind. A jump throw will allow you to throw any nade at perfect timing every single time. So to make a jump throw bind, I have left the 3 lines of script in the description of this video. All you have to do is add it to your auto-exec file. To do that, simply open up your Counter-Strike Global Offensive directory. It's usually found local disk C, program files ×86, Steam, Steam apps, common, and then you'll find your Counter-Strike Global Offensive folder. In here, open up CSGO, CFG, and here will be your auto-exec file. If you don't have it by default, you simply create a new text document, rename it to auto-exec, and change the file format to CFG. I already have it open through WordPad over here, and as you can see, I've highlighted the 3 lines of script. From the description, all you really have to do is you copy paste this in and you change the bind to whatever key you want. For me, it is Alt. Once that is in, you simply click File, Save. The next time you launch the game, you will have the jump throw bind set up. Don't worry, guys, this will not get you banned or get you in trouble from Valve. The only thing is some competitions don't allow jump throw binds, so make sure to read the rules thoroughly before attending the competition. Alright, so first things first, let's talk about holding solo A and what does that mean? What is your job on here? So anchoring A means that you're going to be basically stuck on this bomb site unless obviously the T's are pushing B and they're planting the bomb and you have to rotate. Being solo A does mean you're basically stuck on this bomb site. This is your home. You must protect it. So it is fairly obvious that when you're holding A, you need to hold off the site from the attacking enemies. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to kill every single person coming onto the site. It simply means that you have to delay the enemies long enough to give your team a chance to rotate to the bomb site. Now, this is very crucial that you must not die too early. I see a lot of people making the mistake of when they're holding solo A, they like to push up very close, they like to PK main and stuff like that, and they get taken out, and as soon as you die, you leave the bomb site vulnerable to the attacking enemies. You now thinned out your defense on A, which will obviously pull 1 or 2 people away from their positions to come and defend the bomb site, which was your job initially. That is why it is very important that you must not die early, and you must communicate everything and anything that happens on this bomb site throughout your time holding. Now, obviously, dying is inevitable. You most likely will die 9 times out of 10 when there's more than 3 people coming at you. But as long as you do your job by delaying them just long enough for your team to rotate, you've done your job. Alright, because we're talking about anchoring on the A site, for that reason, we'll be only talking about holding A site from within and not from any of the outside points or retaking it. At the same time, every smoke and molly and flash that I throw in here is going to be based off of 128 tick servers. Unfortunately, as of right now, I do not have the 64 tick versions of these smokes just because I don't really play 64 tick servers all too often. Alright, now that we talked about your job holding A, let's talk about your positioning. There's a lot of places you can choose to play from the A bomb site, especially when soloing it. You got to make sure that you're in a position where you cannot get shot, where you have a lot of cover, and we have a lot of escape routes to get out. If you guys watch me play on Cache, you guys will most likely guess that this is my favorite spot to hold. Now, the reason why I like this spot so much is because this is an off angle. It's not directly into the corner where they can pre-fire you easily. Instead, I kind of come off to over here, and I hold the angle right about here just because anybody that has to clear me will have to run out into the quad angle and the default angle first. Therefore, I can just shoot them once they swing out to fork. Holding solo A from quad is also not a bad idea, especially if you're an opper. I don't recommend holding this angle like so, just because you will most likely get pre-fired and get pre-aimed or opt out of this position, just because this is a very, very common angle. What I like the most about this position is that you can simply spot a main. If they want to clear this spot, they will have to swing out just a little bit. Therefore, once you see them, you can simply back off into the corner and throw a couple of smokes and flashes from this position, which I will show you guys later. Same thing goes for back of quad. The only reason why I don't like this position is because if anybody crosses left like so, if you swing out wider like this and they've already crossing into your crosshair, you will have to take the fight no matter what, unless you can quickly get out like so. I recommend holding it from just simply default, just spotting like so. I don't recommend you holding an angle like this, just because again, this is one of those angles that's really, very easily pre-fireable. If you're spotting, it's a very, very nice way that you guys can get some information early on. Back off to here and start throwing your nades and flashes and smokes and stuff like that. Before anything even goes down, your time at soloing A is going to come from truck. You will run from CT spawn through here and onto the A bomb site. When coming up to the truck position, you have two options. You can smoke A main yourself, or you can get your teammate to smoke it for you. When running a 1-2-2 setup, which means 1 on A, 2 on mid, 2 on B, you can have one guy holding mid while your highway guy throws the A main smoke for you. When running up truck, you simply line yourself up with this tire. You aim at the sickle right at the top of it right there, and you left click throw. Just a simple left click throw. This will smoke off A main very, very perfectly. There's no edges that they can come out of. There's no one ways that they can get. It's just a simple, easy A main smoke. Another A main smoke you guys can throw is you can back yourself into this corner right here with the truck and the wall. You aim at the top of this E like so, and you simply left click throw. Just like the other smoke, it's going to be a perfect smoke to covers A main. Throwing a smoke early on like this will basically prevent any rushes if they're trying to rush. Once your highway guy threw the smoke, he can simply back off to highway and hold it from here. So we've saved our smoke. Let's talk about holding it from fence. Like I said earlier, you don't want to be holding it from this angle just because it's easy pre-fireable. Instead, just come around like so, line up the white wall with this wall right here, and just simply hold this headshot angle. Anybody that comes around into fork, you guys can simply take them out. So let's say the A take starts to come in. You hear a lot of people door, you hear a lot of people A main. They start to throw their cross smoke immediately. Jump off down from this ledge. Look at the fork tire. Look at the left side of the tire like so, and then simply jump throw. The smoke will land perfectly into a main. It's a very easy smoke to throw. Combined with that smoke, you guys can toss a Molotov, which is basically in the same area you guys were aiming while you were holding it. Simply left click throw, and the Molotov will land around a main like so. It will cover fork, and it will cause a little bit of it to spread onto this side, so they will be forced to run through it if they are committed to the push. Immediately after you throw this smoke like so, you can simply bank a flash off of this wall right here. Simply aim at this bottom rust spot on this wall, left click throw, and as you can see, the flashbang lands right behind quad. Basically, it will blind anybody that's coming around here trying to peek you like so. It's not the best flash, but it's definitely one that will hopefully catch one or two people off guard. Now, sometimes the enemies will throw a Molotov like so, which covers fence pretty much very, very evenly, and you will be forced to come off like that. Once you see that molly coming in, you can come back here, toss a flash like so, and back off to quad while they're blind or while they're turning around. If you're holding a bomb site from quad, like I mentioned earlier, you shouldn't be facing this angle. Instead, you should be just jiggle peeking, getting information to see if anybody is coming out A main. Keep in mind, most of the times the terrorists will not dry wide swing like this. They will toss a flash or they will toss a smoke. So once you see that smoke coming in, simply back into the corner like so. You want to aim at this little dark spot right here, which is lined up with the divot and this beam. Simply left click throw, and this will perfectly smoke off A main like so. There's also a really nice Molotov you guys can throw, which will smoke off the middle of a main entrance. You simply aim at the top right here between these two belts, right in the middle, left click throw, and the Molotov will land just over here, which will basically cover A main fully. They will have to run through this and they will get burned no matter what. You can actually use this with a combination of the same smoke that I just showed you. Left click throw here, Molotov out like so. And as you can see, if they choose to push through the smoke, they will run into this Molotov unless they jump left and take like maybe 1 or 2 ticks of damage. A really nice flashbang you guys can throw. This not most likely will not even blind them, as they will see this flying in. But just simply left click bank this flash like so. It will just bounce off the wall, come onto the ground. This maybe give you an opportunity to kind of flee away from quad in case you get mollied, etc, etc. If you're holding from the default position or maybe even on red position, once you've taken contact, you simply run back to this wall right here. To smoke off a main, you want to look at this dot right here. There's 3 dots on the right side of this wall. You want to aim at the left one, and you want to simply jump throw. This will perfectly land onto a main, similar to the other smokes, and it will not give them any one ways or anything like that. If you wish to Molotov a main, simply aim in the middle of these 2 windows. You want to run and throw and let go just past when you get over this little bump, like so. As you guys can see, this lands basically to a main. It spreads closer to the left side as well. It will molly the fork position as well. There's also a very beautiful Molotov you guys can throw from the same position right here. At the top of this box, you will see 1, 2, 3 dots. You want to aim at the leftmost dot and simply left click throw. This will go directly inside the door. It will push anybody that's trying to stand right here. And as you can see, there's no way they can get an angle onto the highway guy or to the cat guy. You can smoke off fork by simply aiming at the second support beam. Simply tap throw, and then it will molly off fork completely. At the same time, you can throw a flash like so, which will basically bounce off like that. You can throw the exact same flash from the default position. Simply left click throw like so. It will bounce off. Flash anybody like that. You can swing on that, or you can back off. It's up to you. As long as you delay the enemy long enough for your teammates to arrive, you should be good to go. Alright boys, now time for some trade secrets. Here's some more aggressive but more riskier approaches to holding solo A. This will require you to use a smoke of some kind, whether a teammate or yours. You can smoke off a main like so. You will have to beeline it for the door immediately, and you will have to open it. Once you open a door, you have to clear door and reopen it this way. You then jump onto this box, jump onto the default position, and strafe jump onto the door like so. You can jump onto the light here and simply hold a main with the perfect amount of time before that smoke fades. You can also try a really advanced maneuver where you can open the door and jump at the same time to make the jump. So you can go like this and then jump back on. The door will get closed and you're back onto the position to keep holding. Another trick I like to mess around with is simply aggressing a main. What you want to do is you want to line up a smoke, throw it in, and immediately book it into a main. Don't throw any flash or anything like that. Don't make any noise while running into it. You simply walk behind the smoke. You should have time that they're not here yet by the time you entered, and you simply jump onto this box and you can peek over. This will give you a nice little one-way. Keep in mind that in higher tier games, they will suspect this if they see a smoke here, and they will most likely pre-fire you or check you up there. It's still something cool to play around with. Another aggressive A play you guys may choose to do is simply smoking off the end of a main and pushing in. Now, I don't recommend doing this by yourself, but I'm going to include this either way. Come up and line up yourself with this corner right here. You want to aim at the fork. It's a little bit of a harder lineup, but basically you want to line up this beam with somewhere around here. So if we come around here like this, jump throw, the smoke will come around like so. It will bounce into a main and it will give you a perfect smoke that will keep the enemies back. Now keep in mind that they will get smoked off if they try to push through this, and you do get a little bit of a one-way like this. The only negative side about this smoke is that unfortunately the terrorists can show up here way before the smoke even pops, so you will have to clear it systematically, clear box first, and then continue to hold a main with your aggression. But like I said, if you're soloing A, I totally recommend not to do this, just because if you get cleared like this, you will most likely lose the A position and the enemies will take over real quick. Alright, I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I know I said it's a mini tutorial, but what I mostly meant is that it has a lot less editing than my other tutorials, but these are very specific tutorials where I go into more details and more specific things other than just general ideas. Don't forget that I'll be streaming tomorrow on twitch.tv/LongBarrel at 12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That is 3 p.m. Eastern Time and 8 p.m. Central European Time. Go follow my Twitch, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Other than that, that's gonna do it for me for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have enjoyed this video, then please leave a like on this video. It'll help me out a ton. If you're new here and you like what you see, then don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. Mine's LongBarrel. Have a wonderful day, and remember, be water, my friends.